Racing in Indiana's Terry Fisher Jr., the number 28 machine, car normally piloted by Scott Coe, starting on the pole alongside the veteran out of Edgerton, Ohio, the number 10, Bud Perry. Multi-time winner here at Winchester Speedway, multi-time series champion or track champion down at the Shady Bowl Speedway, multi-time champion up at the Spartan Speedway in Mason, Michigan.
Yeah, and for Bud Perry, this was his first season ever competing full-time with the Main Event Racing Series. And he now starts on the outside of this race after claiming the championship in that division this year, running a modified this weekend. White flag is out. Next time by, Matt, to the green we will go. We have had some fairly clean racing action so far. The modifieds now with 30 solid competitors on the track racing to the finish. 50 laps from now, green flag action with a 28 of Terry Fisher Jr. and the number 10 of Bud Perry, a member of the Ohio Posse, starting on the outside of row number 1, and Matt Preer bring him to green.
Pace car pulls onto pit road. They come out of turn number 4. Green flag is out, and we are racing.
Underway for 50 laps on the high banks of Winchester as they head into turn number 1. Into the lead goes Bud Perry, dropping into second Fisher. Third is Reeser. Fourth is Axum, and running fifth in a battle. Top qualifier on the inside is Harold Scott.
Leader of lap 1 is going to be Edgerton, Ohio's Bud Perry, the number 10 machine. Terry Fisher Jr. settling into that second spot.
Springer running in the 5th position, and now here comes Fisher, starting to challenge for the lead at the front of the pack. Fisher in the 28 car, arriving for Scott Coe this weekend, drops to the bottom in turn 4, side by side for the lead. Perry will lead lap number 2.
Scott Reeser running solidly in 3rd, the number 22. He's got a bumper full of Joe Axum in the number 42. Brad Springer solidly in 5th, battle for 6th. Scott Thomas second to 7, Harold Scott in the 96.
Perry again stays in front of the 28 car of Scott Coe, driven this weekend by Terry Fisher Jr. Joe Axum running 5 car lengths back in the 42. Reeser running 4th. Springer, his hands full. Here comes Tomasic to the bottom for 5th.
And from 14, we talked about him earlier, Trevor Berry now in the top 10. He's running in the 9th, challenging Brian Nestor for the 8th spot.
Yeah, Berry looking strong up the outside lane. He closes on the 11 of Nestor, looks to the outside of the winner of the All-Star Dash earlier for the modifieds. Berry working hard in his first ever Winchester appearance.
Terry Fisher Jr. with a good run, and the number 28 machine. He dies once again at the bottom. The number 10 of Bud Perry. Steve Rollins off the pace in turn number 3.
As Rollins drops off and looks to take his number 68 ride to the pits. The lead battle continues with Perry pulling ahead again. Fisher in second, Axum a couple car lengths back in 3rd. Reeser off the pace in the 22. 2 or 3 drivers go by as Jones, Nestor, Yelton, and the 7 of Berry get to the inside. Side by side for the lead position. Fisher working hard. What a battle the fans are watching this Saturday evening as the lead battle has been from the start of this race to now the completion of lap number 15. Caution coming out for the first time in this USA Modified. Schoenfeld headers run for the gun 50 lapper, yellow for the first time. 15 in, 35 to go.
Something we noticed with the USA Modified Series, Adam, single file restarts for the Modified Tour. We've been used to the double file restarts throughout the evening, but USA Modified is running under different procedures, different rules. We'll go into the standard single file on the restart.
That's the way the USA Modifieds have been running for a long time and not wanting to take any chances that actually might help save a little equipment at times. So a lot of the fans like the double file restarts, but already some of these drivers go double file as soon as the green waves, as we are back underway. And the lead duo of Bud Perry and the 28 of Terry Fisher Jr. build up a huge advantage over Joe Axum on the restart.
Almost like Joe Axum got caught napping on that restart. Now he's starting to pull away a little bit from the 4th place spot car, the 61 of Brad Springer, but now Springer has a bumper full of Brian Nestor in the 11.
Brian Nestor right there, the driver in the number 11 earlier tonight, picking up a dash race win for $600 for the USA Modifieds, and he is right behind the 61 of Springer. He has lost a car length or 2 through 1 and 2. Jones behind him, followed by Yelton and Berry. As we move into the top 10, oh man, a couple of cars, Tomasic and Bainbridge, nearly go around in 1 and 2.
And been all race long. Bud Perry continuing to lead the number 10, and he's got a bumper full of Terry Fisher Jr. Fisher continues to search for a way around that Edgerton, Ohio driver. He's still got a lot of time left, though, as they come by this time. 19 in, 31 to go.
Rob Yelton in the 32 car in a little bit of trouble. He's caught on the bottom now as Perry looking to the outside of him, positioned just out of the top 5. They follow Kyle Jones around the track, and Barry sideways had to check up a little bit. He went to the outside of Yelton, and contact was nearly made. Jeff Lane picks up a position in the Ed Martin 26.
Kyle Jones on pit road in the number 2 machine. Tough break for the Germantown, Ohio driver.
So with Jones pit side, that shuffles our top 10 a little bit, and Bud Perry continues to hold off. The 28 of Terry Fisher. Terry Fisher Jr. all over the number 10. You can tell he's one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, but just can't get the run and hold the momentum he needs to make the pass on the leader. Lap 22 at the stripe this time.
Bud Perry running a line where he's very comfortable, forcing Terry Fisher Jr. to search for a way around your race leader. Back in the field for 4th, the 61 of Brad Springer, the 11 of Brian Nestor continue to duke it out for that 4th position.
First, second, and third closing on one another as Axum has been able to cut down on the gap that the first 2 had on him. They go around USA Modified point leader Jonathan Martin, who's definitely not up to speed in that car. As the 10 of Perry leads with Fisher second, Axum third. The battle for 4th now between Nestor, who's on the inside of Springer.
Just shy of halfway this time by. 24 laps completed, 26 laps to go. Bud Perry has led all 24 laps thus far. Terry Fisher Jr. throwing everything he's got at the Edgerton, Ohio driver this time by halfway home.
Crossed flags this time. 25 in, 25 to go for the Edgerton, Ohio driver, a member of the Ohio Posse, Bud Perry. He leads with a 28 of Terry Fisher Jr. second. Bumper to bumper as they exit turn number 2 and head down the backstretch. We look through the top 10, and one of the battles that we see continuing to develop is Trevor Barry racing with Rob Yelton to the inside in turn 4.
Perry not only has to deal with Terry Fisher Jr., but now he's got to deal with Brian Nestor, who has caught your top 2 drivers. Fisher again to the inside. Nestor trying to figure out which driver to follow to go into 3 and 4.
Oh, Fisher gave up the outside, and here comes Nestor to the bottom. So Fisher is going to have to work hard to use the inside to get around the 10 of Perry, or it's going to be over for him. And right now, he has fallen back into the 3rd spot. Nestor, fastest car on the track in that 11, up to 2nd. He leads Fisher in his dust. And now only 1 driver between him and a run for the gun championship.
As they've done many, many times throughout their stellar careers, Bud Perry and Brian Nestor duking it out for the lead. But Terry Fisher Jr. not giving up just yet. The 28 car, lap traffic now in front of your leaders. Caution flag in the speedway.
Tim Burkett caught up in the number 14 car, winner of one of our last chances. The number 1 of Oakley had spun on the front stretch, and I think Burkett was collected in the number 14. But the 1 of Brandon Oakley, I think this is just our 2nd caution. Amazing racing action, this USA Modified. Schoenfeld headers, run for the gun 50 tonight. 30 cars started the event. Just a couple of drivers have fallen out of the race with mechanical issues. The 1 of Oakley has stopped looking the wrong way coming off of turn number 4.
Just amazing here with this 40th annual Winchester 400 weekend. Celebration nonetheless, with this being the 40th anniversary, and my goodness, 190 cars in 6 divisions here in Winchester, Indiana. Drivers from all over the country, a couple, 1 or 2 from Canada. My goodness, it's been a great weekend so far, and it continues as Bud Perry leads them out of 4. Green flags out, we are racing.
Bud Perry brings the field across the line as they race on lap number 34. Perry gains a 4-car length advantage on Brian Nestor coming off of 2. Let's see if Nestor reels him back in, heading to 3. Nestor pretty good middle of the corner. Perry doesn't look bad himself out front.
Not at all, as Bud Perry leads the field into turns 1 and 2. Terry Fisher Jr. now on the back bumper of Brian Nestor, searching for a way around Nestor for that 2nd spot.
Might not be bad if Perry can hold him off for a few more laps here. If he can get another caution and reset the restart once again. Perry definitely looks to be better on the shorter runs, and Nestor a little bit better once they get up to speed, but Nestor has caught Bud Perry, and he's to the rear bumper, heading to turn number 3 as the moon rises above the trees in turn number 3 at Winchester Speedway.
Terry Fisher Jr. with the best seat in the house as he watches the battle between the number 10 of Bud Perry, the 11 of Brian Nestor. Next time by, they'll see the 10 lap to go signal. As they make their way through turns 3 and 4, it's 40 laps completed, 10 to go.
A trio of cars at the front of the pack with 10 laps remaining. Right on the rear bumper of Bud Perry is Brian Nestor. Hard to put a piece of paper in between the two as they came down the front stretch, and Bainbridge drops his ride into the pits. He's done for the night, and Nestor nearly making contact with Perry heading to 3.
Nestor takes a peek to the inside, nothing doing, but Perry slams the door coming out of turn number 4.
Closed the gap on the bottom of the track, did Perry. He doesn't want to leave the top open, but he doesn't want to leave the bottom open either, as Perry has led lap 41, 42 complete this time. 8 circuits to go. Nestor looking to the high lane of Bud Perry on the front stretch. He's up side by side with him heading to turn 1.
My goodness, Brian Nestor on the outside, Bud Perry on the inside. They're side by side going into turns 3 and 4. Terry Fisher Jr. trying to figure out which way to go.
A bold move for Brian Nestor in the number 11 car. He takes the lead, and Bud Perry has dropped into second. Here comes the 28 car of Terry Fisher Jr. 6 laps to go this time for Nestor. He starts to pull away from Bud Perry.
Flying Brian Nestor, showing why he earned that nickname. Going around the outside here on the famous high banks at Winchester Speedway. He takes over the lead, and he's got a little bit of a gap now between himself and Bud Perry, who's got a bumper full of Terry Fisher Jr.
Nestor leading the event by several car lengths over Perry now. Fisher is in 3rd, 5 laps to go. Axum 4th, Springer 5th. Running 6th is Yelton. 7th is Lane. 8th is Stacy. 9th is Barry. And 10th is Brad Yelton. 11th is Breedlove. 12th is Carroll. 13th Verba. 14th Step. We've got the 2 car of Martin, the 15 of Stearns, the 22 of Reeser, still out there racing as well.
Brian Nestor running away and hiding from your 2nd and 3rd place cars with the number 10 of Bud Perry, the 28 of Terry Fisher Jr. This time by, 47 in, 3 to go for Nestor.
Fisher tried to pull off the same move on Perry coming out of turn 4, but he got up in front of him just in time. Now Fisher goes to the bottom of Perry, off of 2. He's protecting, trying to get that 1-2 finish at the front of the pack. 2 laps to go this time for Brian Nestor.
48 laps completed, 2 laps to decide it. Brian Nestor with a couple lap cars distantly in front of him. Shouldn't play a role in the outcome of this race as he goes into 3 and 4.
Brian Nestor off of turn number 4, coming to the white flag. Final circuit for the number 11 of Nestor. Perry, Fisher, the 42 of Axum, and the 61 of Springer. 1st through 5th in this one, and Nestor's lead is at a half straightaway as he enters turn number 4.
On a turn number 4, checkered flag in hand, your winner for the Run for the Gun 50, flying Brian Nestor takes the win. Bud Perry comes home in 2nd, Terry Fisher Jr. 3rd, Joe Axum 4th, and Brad Springer rounds at the top 5.
And just as he finishes the race, the 88 of Step looks like he explodes a motor coming across the line as heavy smoke came from the 88. This 50 lapper complete. And Brian Nestor pulled off a bold move. An amazing move for Nestor in the final 10 circuits to go outside of his buddy, his friend, Bud Perry, pulling up on the front stretch, I believe claiming a championship, but also congratulating Nestor on the victory is Jonathan Martin in the number 30 modified, Bud Perry claiming the 2nd position in the number 10 car, and the 28 of Terry Fisher Jr. finishing a strong 3rd, but he just could never get the run he needed to get out front. Had he got out in front, he might have had a chance to hold off the 11 of Nestor, but man, was Nestor good on the longer green flag runs. It took him a few laps to get up to speed, but after he did, it was all said and done.